Good morning, stamp friends. Welcome back, and this is episode 2 of Looking at Stamps. And today we are going to talk about the Little Mo stamp, which was issued in 2019. And we're going to talk about some accompanying stamps that can go along well with that stamp. Should you be sending it internationally? So before we get there, though, we need to talk about a philatelic term called tenant. It's spelled S-E space T-E-N-A-N-T. I feel like I'm at the spelling bee or something, but tenant. And it's a collection of stamps that are published together that are linked on the page as a block of stamps that are related to one another. And the common example that I use is this particular stamp here. And this is the Boston Tea Party stamp, and this is 1480 to 1483. As you can see, there are 4 different stamps all printed together on the same block, and this is called tenant. Currently, though, any postage stamp collage is now being loosely called tenant as well. So that's the term that I tend to use is stamp collage, which are related stamps that aren't printed together. And so I'm going to share some of those with you today. We're going to hopefully get to 3 stamps, the new issues. We'll see what time permits. But we're going to start off with the stamp that started this whole series off, and that's the Little Mo stamp. I'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back, and I wanted to show you the Boston Tea Party stamp closer. This was, once again, is Scott number 1480 to 1483. It was issued in 1973. It's one of my favorite series because it's based on blue, the color blue, and there aren't too many stamps that are based solely on the color blue. Plus it has ships, which is one of the themes that I collect, and it's the historical nature of it. And once again, this is a perfect example of, tenant style of stamps. It's more than one related stamp that are printed together and conjoined. And so that's the true definition of tenant. Today we talk about coordinated stamps or postage stamp collages, which is how I got into stamp collecting when I was working with brides and their invitations. And so this is the stamp that started this whole series. This is the Little Mo stamp. It doesn't have a Scott number yet. It was released on April the 23rd. And this is the up close. And I just wanted to show you just the colors in this green. This green isn't too common. There we go. Isn't too common it's a real true chartreuse. So, and that's what stood out for me. And just the detail, you can see the scrape of her knees, just the detail of this particular stamp. It's neutrals based as well, which is how it will be listed on my spreadsheet. The primary theme will be sports. The secondary theme will be women. And so that's what started this whole series off, is that people seem to really respond to me showing the stamp up close so they can then decide if they wanted to add it to their collection or not. Now the question then becomes, what stamps do you use with it should you want to send international mail? This is a forever stamp. It's currently 55 cents. I need another 60 cents if I'm going to send it internationally, which is what I tend to do. For a 4x6 postcard, this would be 35 cents. You could use this to send an oversized postcard in the US. So you wouldn't need a stamp collage necessarily if you want to use this particular stamp. One of the stamps that I'm suggesting is this tennis ball stamp from the series Have a Ball. This is Scott number 5203 through 5210. This particular individual stamp is 5209. These were issued in 2017, and as you can see, not only does it match thematically, but it also matches color-wise as well. So these two stamps together would make a great combination of stamps to send in international. Since this is a forever stamp as well, you're up to $1.10, and you would need another 5-cent stamp to complete the postage. Then the question becomes, what do you send? to complete the 5 cents. Now, there are a variety of different 5-cent stamps that you can use. There aren't any that I know of that deal with sports or that deal specifically with tennis or women. So you have to get a little creative. So I would start using color as a matching item. So there's this Davy Crockett, which has a similar greens to it. There is this stamp, which is stop traffic accidents. And as you can see, it has a similar green or correlating green. There is this particular stamp, which is the National Park Service, that you could use. And finally, there is this Canadian US stamp that you can use. So all of these would coordinate greatly with this particular these two particular stamps. Now, my only concern is that this is a vertical orientation stamp. This has no orientation whatsoever, and this is a horizontal, which would, me and my OCD would put me off a little bit. So some other suggestions: if you needed a vertical orientation stamp, you could use the grape stamps. You could also use this John Muir stamp, which is a conservationist stamp. There we go. That would go well. And finally, you could use this particular 5-cent stamp, which is the Cordell Hull. Is it Hull? Hill? Hull. There we go. So either those two stamps could work as well, or I should say either those 3 stamps could work as well if you're concerned about the orientation of your stamps. So that's about all the time we're going to have. I'll share some other new releases tomorrow with you, but that's the lesson for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.